We spend a great deal of our lives waiting for the afterlife. We have been told since we were children that there are two final destinations. One is a place of eternal light and peace, a reward for a lifetime of goodness. The other is a place of fire and suffering, a punishment for our sins. We imagine these places as physical locations, far away in the clouds or deep beneath the earth. We view them as judgments that will be handed down to us at the very end of our journey. But what if this geography is wrong? What if heaven and hell are not places you go to when you die, but places you visit while you are still alive? What if the gates to both are standing wide open in your living room, in your office, and in your car, right now? We often feel the heat of the fire without ever asking who lit the match. We feel the weight of the chains without asking who locked the door. To understand the true nature of these realms, we must look at a story from the Zen tradition of Japan, a story that cuts through our superstitions like a sharp blade. It tells of a large, rough samurai, a warrior known for his skill with the sword, but also for his impatient temper. He had spent years on the battlefield, seeing death and destruction, and a question began to haunt him. He wanted to know what awaited him on the other side. So, the samurai went to see a famous Zen master named Hakuin. He stomped into the master's temple, his armor clanking, his breathing heavy. He found the master meditating quietly in the main hall. The samurai did not bow. He simply barked out his question. "Master, teach me, is there really a heaven and a hell? And if so, where are the gates? How do I enter one and avoid the other?" Hakuin opened his eyes slowly. He looked the warrior up and down with a gaze of utter boredom. He did not answer the question. Instead, he asked one of his own. "Who are you?" "I am a samurai," the warrior replied proudly. "I am a captain of the Emperor's Guard. I have led hundreds of men into battle." Hakuin laughed. It was a cold, mocking sound. "You, a samurai?" the master sneered. "You look like a beggar. Your armor is dirty. Your sword looks rusty. You act like a stray dog. No emperor would trust a brute like you to guard anything." The insult hit the samurai like a physical blow. The blood rushed to his face. His veins bulged in his neck. His ego, which was as large as his reputation, could not handle the disrespect. In a blind flash of rage, his hand flew to the hilt of his sword. He drew the blade in a single fluid motion, raising it high to cut off the master's head. The room was silent. The steel shimmered in the air. The samurai was trembling with the urge to kill. In that frozen second, just before the blade came down, Hakuin looked into the samurai's angry eyes and spoke softly. "Here open the gates of hell." The words pierced the samurai's mind. He froze. He realized instantly what the master had done. Hakuin had not risked his life to be rude. He had risked his life to demonstrate a truth. The master had provoked the samurai to show him exactly what hell was. It was not a pit of lava. It was this. It was this uncontrollable rage. It was this burning desire to destroy. It was this total loss of control. The samurai felt the heat of his own anger, and he saw the foolishness of it. He felt ashamed. His grip on the sword loosened. He lowered the blade. He took a deep, shaking breath and sheathed the weapon with a quiet click. He fell to his knees and bowed his head to the floor, overcome with gratitude for the lesson. Hakuin smiled, a genuine, warm smile this time. He placed a hand on the warrior's shoulder and said, "Here, open the gates of heaven." This story remains one of the most powerful teachings on emotional reality. It strips away the mythology and leaves us with the mechanics of the mind. The gates are not made of pearl or iron. The gates are the gap between a stimulus and your response. Hell is defined as reactivity. It is the state where you are a slave to the outside world. Someone insults you, and you must attack. Something goes wrong, and you must panic. You are a puppet, and the world pulls your strings. In this state, you are burning. You are consumed by the flames of your own ego, your own righteousness, your own need to be right. Heaven, in contrast, is defined as awareness. It is the moment you wake up. It is the moment the samurai paused. It is the capacity to feel the anger, to see the insult, and yet to choose peace. It is the sheathing of the sword. We listen to this and we nod, thinking it is a nice story about ancient warriors. But you are the samurai. You are standing at these gates 50 times a day. Think about your life in the modern world. You are driving to work and the traffic is heavy. You are already late. A car cuts in front of you without signaling. What happens? In a split second, the gate of hell swings open. You feel the surge of adrenaline. You grip the steering wheel until your knuckles are white. You shout a curse word. You spend the next 20 minutes replaying the event in your head, fantasizing about revenge, stewing in a toxic bath of cortisol. You are in hell. Or perhaps you are at home. You are tired. Your spouse says something critical about the way you loaded the dishwasher. It is a small comment, a rusty sword insult, but it hits your ego. You feel unappreciated. You feel attacked. The gate opens. You snap back. You bring up a mistake they made 3 years ago. The volume rises. The room fills with tension. You are both trapped in a burning building of your own making. The tragedy is that we often feel we have no choice. We say, "He made me angry. She provoked me. The traffic drove me crazy." We speak as if we were pushed through the gate against our will. But the lesson of Hakuin is that you are the one holding the handle of the door. The provocation is just an invitation. The insult is just a knock. You do not have to answer it. How do we practice this? How do we learn to sheathe the sword when every instinct in our body wants to strike? It begins with recognizing the hot feel. Before the explosion, there is always a physical sensation, a tightening in the chest, a heat in the face, a sudden sharpness in your vision. This is the moment the gate is unlatched. When you feel this, you must treat it as an emergency alarm. Do not speak, do not type, do not act. Your operating system has been compromised. If you act now, you will create hell. Instead, visualize the samurai. See the sword raised above his head. He had the power to kill, but he found a greater power in restraint. Take a breath. It sounds like a cliché, but a deep breath is the physiological signal to your brain that you are safe. It is the sound of the sword sliding back into the sheath. Look at the person or the situation that triggered you. Remind yourself, if I react now, I am walking into the fire. I am choosing to suffer. Reframing is your strongest tool. We often think that controlling our temper is about being polite or being weak or letting the other person win. This is a mistake. Controlling your temper is an act of extreme selfishness in the best possible way. You are not doing it for them. You are doing it because you refuse to live in hell. You are doing it because you value your own peace more than you value your ego. When you de-escalate a fight, you are not surrendering. You are stepping into heaven. You are entering a state of clarity, dignity, and calm. This practice is not easy. You will fail. You will draw the sword and swing it before you even realize what happened. You will shout at the driver. You will send the angry email. That is part of being human. But the moment you realize you are in hell, you can leave. You do not have to stay there. You can stop the car. You can apologize. You can say, "I lost my temper. I am sorry. Let me try again." That humble admission is the sound of the gate closing behind you. We are not waiting for Judgment Day. The judge is you. The verdict is delivered in every interaction, in every delay, in every frustration. You carry two keys in your pocket. One is heavy, jagged, and hot to the touch. The other is light, smooth, and cool. Every single time the world challenges you, you have to decide which key to put in the lock. Are you a slave to your impulses, doomed to burn in the fires of your own reactions? Or are you the master of your own mind, capable of walking through the flames without being consumed? The master is watching. The sword is at your hip. The choice is yours. Which door will you open?